Sexy.
He left Venom Claw horse sex case. What the fuck? Was it like a lack of need, or that so many people were doing it that they were just like, yeah, we're not making that illegal.
Oh my god.
He just pleasured a horse.
Somebody cradled a horse. Okay, Mr. Hands. My bad, dude. I told you I'm dyslexic. And a little blind. Can you see? Barely. Okay. Unum Claw horse sex case. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Anybody? Alright, anyone?
Send me that link. Send me that link on Discord. I'll call you once I'm back on PC.
Okay. Mr. Hands. Short 2005. Mr. Hands is a short video about a man having sexual intercourse with a horse stallion. That is sad. That is some fucked up shit right there. You mean to tell me this man, hold on, what the fuck?
Claw Community Hospital with his incapacitated friend in tow. He quickly asked the staff to help his friend, then disappeared before identifying himself. His friend is rushed to the emergency room, but it's too late. He's already dead before doctors could do anything to help him. According to the Enumclaw County Medical Examiner's Office, he died of acute peritonitis due to the perforation of the colon. The cause? Taking it up the ass from a horse. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Mr. Hands.
Why do people do the things that they do? God, we're ready. We're ready. Strip me butt naked and take me to the clouds. I'm ready. Rapture us. We're not worthy. Oh my God.
This video is sponsored by Beard Club. It can take a lot of work to keep your beard and mustache looking and feeling their best. You got a small army of products that you're gonna want. That's where Beard Club comes in.
Let me know if the audio is good for you guys.
It'll have your beard as big gets with a variety of grooming kits, trimmer kits, and growth kits. I got some of my favorite things they sent me here. Got that beard and scruff cream. Always gotta give it a good sniff before you put it on, and it's nice. Got the sandalwood scented.
He died doing what he loved.
which is really good for keeping the mustache.
That's fucking great.
The real highlight of their line.
That's dark but great right there. You gotta love it.
Is 100% the best trimmer I've ever had.
He died doing what he loved.
Long, but I also don't
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
how I want.
Stallion love. Stallion life.
And if you have a longer beard,
I've smelt his oats in my hallway.
get started, and also
And then I felt
they don't know how much battery is left.
on the back of my neck.
How much battery is left?
And
So you don't
suddenly
And he whispered to me,
not that you'd have the battery lasts
that is to soil
beard
dance.
today. 10% off your first order. Go to beardclub.com/wang.
alright, I'll put the audio up for you guys. Hold
Of
on.
all the big shock videos that I haven't covered on this channel yet, Mr. Hands is definitely the one that gets requested the most. And at first I had actually thought that I hadn't watched the original video. Then I looked it up and it
Let me know
all
if it's
came back
good.
to me in an instant. From what I've seen, the uploads of it that are floating around online right now are edited. The audio is removed and the intro has been cut out. But I was able to find archived uploads of the original dating back as far as August of 2006. It begins with that classic Windows Movie Maker title animation, the kind that reminds me of those top 10 heaviest metalcore breakdown compilations. It reads, Zeta Mo Beta Productions presents Deep Thrusts.
What?
Starring Mr. Hands and Super Stud the Wonder Horse. I can't play you the rest, obviously.
I feel bad for the horse. So, what? Who? Hold on. So, like that, or like that? Which one? Which one? I'm confused now. How did this happen?
But here's the play-by-play. The film opens with a nighttime shot of a man in a gray hoodie with his pants pulled down. He's bent over next to a horse. Another man also
I guess it happened this way.
The horse's front leg. After
I guess it happened this way.
Pantsless individual, and this move brings the horse's massive.
That is not good.
With a little bit of a struggle, the other man guides the horse cock into his friend's ass.
What?
The horse is bracing itself, the guy's gasping, and then you get this sound that's like squishing your hand in a plastic bag full of macaroni. Also, the guy seems to have 3 spikes on his.
Oh my god. What? 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 He pulled the jackass?
Today we're in Carmen de Arico.
They did this, but inside his
and
butt?
He's going to show us how to milk a horse. The way we're going to do that is they're going to bring over a stallion.
I guess we gotta show the demonstration to see how he did this to himself. To show you the impact of what he did. You see how big that sheath is?
And put it into this fake horse vagina.
The old switcheroo.
Alright, bet. I got you.
Mean trick. Here we go.
Here comes the stallion.
He's got the craziest look in his eyes. I've seen that same look.
Look at that thing.
It's game on, guys.
Look at that thing. Look at that slongus. You taking that up the ass? Oh my god. Shit, that's what his boy did. That's what his boy did, bro.
We got the penis into the fake horsey vagina.
Bro, that's what his boy did. He grabbed the shit to that
Got the
thing.
penis into the fake horsey vagina. I think I feel the tip rubbing. So somebody cradle the balls.
What the fuck, dude? This is for science.
He lasts longer than you, Steve.
YouTube algorithm, this is for science.
Success!
Oh my god.
He just pleasured a horse.
Is it okay to drink?
Si lo puede tomar,
Yeah. Poquito.
no problem. Okay.
No!
This gives me an out for.
Alright, I can't show this on YouTube. I can't. I'm age restricted already. Oh my god. That's what Mr. Hands was doing with his butt.
Balls. Because of the low resolution, it's hard to tell if they're piercings or some kind of growths. The horse starts thrusting really hard, and the guy makes these sounds that are like you're touching the walls in Doom looking for the secret, but there's no secret to be found. Then the horse busts, he withdraws from the guy's ass, and the other guy goes, "He came," with his voice of absolute wonderment. Then he reaches out and starts swatting at the horse dick like a cat playing with a toy mouse. The guy that got diddled goes, "Oh god," in a half-pained, half-pleasured voice. That's the end. The whole ordeal lasts about 42 seconds. And legend has it that this man died shortly after the video. So how did these guys find themselves in this predicament? In the before times...
He bent over at a farm somewhere, pulled his pants down. His friend gutted a horse's penis in his ass. And he got fucked to death. I don't... La Diable, I think your name suits you. Why'd you have to mess my night up like that? What the fuck did I just read?
You might have a guy here and there that was interested in hooking up with an animal. You know, like the archetypal sheep fucker of the Scottish countryside. But before the internet, most of these kinds of guys probably just went through life thinking that there is a specific thing messed up with only them. And with no outlet for their paraphilia, they basically just defaulted to living a normal life. But with the internet, all of a sudden these people start finding each other. Although very, very rarely would these people ever meet in real life for obvious reasons. But there's one exception. A little enclave of horse fuckers in Washington state. In fact, according to Charles Matutta, the writer of the documentary Zoo, this was the only real-life zoophilia club of this sort that him and his team were able to find. And of all the states in the US that this could possibly happen, Washington was a likely candidate. You see, this is because at the time, Washington was one of a handful of US states in which bestiality was legal. Although you might...
Was it like a lack of need, or that so many people were doing it that they were just like, yeah, we're not making that illegal. You don't fuck your dog, bro? You don't fuck little Betsy when you don't think that dog ass looks sexy when she's bending over to get that bone? Something wrong with you.
I think, oh, this is because they hadn't had an incident yet to merit a law being made. In the case of Washington, there actually was a law, but it got repealed in 1976.
Anybody with the name
Around this time,
Zoo
Washington was one of many states that was repealing
is
their
gonna
laws
have some
forbidding
fucked up
anyone
shit
or
that's
sex.
involved with
But in the
it.
case of Washington, the laws against bestiality were attached to these laws. So once these laws were repealed, bestiality effectively became legal. And thus,
What
Washington
the
State
fuck?
becomes the horse fucker's paradise. With the law set up in their favor, there were a few other states where you could do such a thing. But Washington had one thing that the other states didn't. A man named James Michael Tate. James Michael Tate lived in a trailer that was next to a farm that was...
James Michael Tate.
This might help.
Oh my god. Is this the guy that slid this guy's horse penis in him? I can't believe this shit,
the
dude.
home to several horses. He was also involved in the online zoophile community. But unlike most of his peers, he was actually interested in cultivating a real-life group of people with this shared interest. So after a thorough vetting process, James would start to bring these people into the fold. They'd get together for weekends, holidays, have food and drinks, great conversations with like-minded people. In the documentary Zoo, which spends time with some of these
Damn, I
people,
might have to
they
check that
describe
doc.
how liberating
Oh
it
my
felt.
god. Oh my god. Did you see the fucking video, the picture for that shit? Hold on. Hold up. Wait. Where's the thumbnail for that picture? Right there. Boom. Enhance. Shit. That is a man power thrusting, and that's a horse's eye. That is like so sad of a picture. That is literally a man raping or graping a horse. My bad. I'm still getting used to the Twitch language. What the fuck did I just see?
Zoo, which spends time with some of these people, they describe how liberating it felt to have a group of people with this freakish shared interest and be able to discuss it openly in real life. Oh, and you know, also how great it was to have a place to go get fucked by horses. A farm that, unbeknownst to its owners, had become somewhat of a destination for zoophiles around the world. They even had the horse fucking down to a science. In an interview with Vice, Charles Vedetta describes it. How exactly did they train the horses to fuck them? They would literally bend over and wait for the horse to fuck them.
Yeah, I kind of
They'd also
figured he
put
was
some type of
Chinese. That's a
scent on
Chinese
themselves.
name.
The pheromone people used to get horses to breed. He also describes their vetting process for the animals. Did they pick specific horses from the farm, or were they down to be fucked by any horse? They had preferences.
I'm just gonna put it out here. La Diable. I'm concerned for your mental health. How do you know so much about horse fuckers?
They would figure out which horse was too strong, which had the biggest cock, which was the quickest fuck. It was like going to a horse auction. They were really into the cows, too.
What?
One of the guys literally said he planned on eating one of the bulls after it fucked him. I found that to be very problematic, getting fucked by something you were going to eat. He was super darkly into zoophilia in a way that was unlike the others. Yeah, I mean, fucking a bull is one thing, but eating it after, it's a bit too far.
He said he's gonna fuck a cow and then eat it
A lot of
after.
these guys wanted to see themselves as massive animal fuckers. Guys who could take on huge things. They would even talk about fucking dolphins, which supposedly have big cocks. He also went on to question whether it was
What?
the animals they
Why
were
does
really
he do his
into, or
mustache
maybe they were just
anyways,
next
really?
level size.
What? This nigga said he fucking dolphins?
I don't wanna know.
Oh man.
To me, it's clear today that these guys had this worship of cock that may have had nothing to do with horses.
They are fucking the horses the wrong way. They're not fucking the horses. They're not. No. They're. With the horse. Who are these people?
Fucking posers. And as part of the ritual, sometimes the men would go on to
50% lie.
Of course, videos not unlike
I mean,
the
like,
infamous
if
Mr.
it
Hands
works,
video.
like it or
So
what,
anyhow,
like,
one day
just take
James
it
Tate
over.
brings Mr. Hands into
Oh
the
my
video.
god.
Mr. Hands was a divorced 45-year-old engineer who worked for Boeing. Years prior, a serious motorcycle accident had caused nerve damage that reduced his ability to feel a lot of sensations. This caused him to try and seek out new ways to feel something. Anything. It begins with things like fisting.
I just want to feel pain again. I want to feel something. That is a sad existence. He's literally living the fucking Metallica album 1 for real. Like, that sucks.
Gigantic dildo.
He died.
And eventually, he gets curious about the horses. And this is how he winds up seeking out Tate's little circle. For quite some time, he had been a part of their little group, regularly getting fucked by horses along with his pals. But on that fateful night of July 2nd, disaster strikes. Although there was a horse on Tate's property that the men would usually engage with, this night, for whatever reason, just wasn't happening. So Tate, Mr. Hands, and an unidentified third person who was working the camera would go to the farm to meet up with a horse that they knew as Big Dick.
Why is the horse named Big Dick?
You know.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude? The horse's name is Big Dick.
While the third man is filming, first Tate gets fucked by Big Dick. And then right after, it's Mr. Hands' turn. But for some reason...
So they're
this
taking
time,
turns
Big
getting
Dick was
fucked by
too much
Big
to
Dick?
handle. And that's where Mr. Hands gets his colon perforated. He immediately knows that something has gone horribly wrong. But he refuses to go to the hospital because there's just too much at stake. He couldn't risk Boeing finding out. And worse, he couldn't risk his family finding out. So he decides he's just gonna try, walk it off. Hours pass though, and they realize this isn't getting better. This isn't something he's gonna be able to just tough out. Either they get this man to the hospital, or they're gonna have a dead body to deal with. But as you know, it was a little too late. Who knows if they could have saved him if they'd only gone sooner. But for the survivors, their friend dying was just the beginning of their problems. Using Mr. Hand's driver's license, police eventually track his co-conspirators back to the farm, and it was there that they would discover hundreds of VHS tapes and DVDs of these men fucking horses, one of which contained the incident that ended Mr. Hands' life. So this should be a pretty open and shut case then, right? Not
No,
so
it's
much,
legal.
because if you remember, there's no bestiality laws in Washington. So they had to find something else. Perhaps animal cruelty? Well, after reviewing the videotapes, and remember, authorities had to sit through hundreds of these tapes, they determined that they couldn't...
I feel bad for the cop that had to sit. It's sad for two things in this thing. The cops that had to watch the videos of these guys getting their anuses blasted by a horse cock, and then the horses, because they were fucking an unknown hole. They thought they were getting some horsey, some horchie. But I'm trying to say horse coochie together, but it's not working out. So they're trying to get some horse coochie, and the next thing you know, they're getting man butt back puss, and that's not good. That's not good at all.
Go for animal cruelty because there's no evidence that any of the animals...
Mr. Hands, is sad for him only that he couldn't feel anything, and he wanted to feel a horse's dick in his ass because he just wanted to feel something.
So what happens is James Michael Tate gets charged with criminal
I know, he
trespass
could have just went to
because
Bad
nobody
Dragon.
didn't know that these people were going on the farm to fuck
He
their
got
horses.
a dinosaur
He winds up with
dick.
a suspended 1-year sentence, a $300 fine, 1 day of community
He looks
service.
like the type of person that takes it up the ass from a horse. Yeah, big dick. Get that big dick in there.
Forbidden from ever visiting the farm again. The
Oh
Kings
my
County
God.
Sheriff's Office expected that no media outlets would report on this case due to the gruesome details, which shows that they have absolutely no idea how the media works.
Exactly.
This would be the Seattle Times' biggest story of the year. But an interesting thing about it, Mr. Hands' real name would be withheld from all of the early reporting. There was a rumor that feds or some kind of powers that be were forbidding anybody from using his name. And considering how readily
I got you. I'm gonna look up the Chinese man that obviously does something with his butt.
Known as the Horse Fucker Company. It is kind of plausible. But then the radio DJ Tom Likas one day just let it all out live on the air. He identified Mr. Hands as Kenneth Pinion, the Boeing employee. His
Oh my
family, of course,
God.
were mortified by the whole situation, and with all this looming over their heads, they still had to deal with his estate, which previously, unbeknownst to them, included a property with a house and a barn that he was building, as well as a horse he had purchased named Strut. You see, all this time, Pinion had been...
I'm sorry to laugh, but he bought a. It's so ironic, dude. He bought a black horse named Strut. He bought Strut so Strut can take a strut up in that ass. That ain't good, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse for a run.
building this new house. And
That's so
his wife
fucked.
and kid would eventually come back to him and live there with him. But they only learned of this when it was too late. Also, a cast of the horse's penis was found inside the house.
What?
The horse was taken by an animal rescue and gelded immediately after.
This nigga clay casted the horse's dick. He's like, oh yeah, I need a clay cast mold of that motherfucker. That's my dick on the go. I'ma sit on that bitch.
They did this so none
Oh
of the
my
other
God.
horse fuckers wandering around town tried to buy it for nefarious purposes. And of course, this case more than anything left the people of Washington state wondering, how the fuck is bestiality still legal in 2006? A Washington senator named Pam Roach quickly made a bill to ban bestiality, which was passed the following February. But luckily since then, they haven't had to actually use this law for anything. It makes sense because for these guys, the party was already over. And according to Charles Madutta, there was a bit of an air of resentment towards Mr. Hands. After all, he's the one that ruined the horsefucker's paradise. When I was talking to the zoos in Washington, I got an impression that they thought Mr. Hands was a bit of a weakling. He was an intellectual. He worked for Boeing as an engineer. They could take a horse fucking and not have to go to the hospital. He was effete and new to it. They thought he ruined it. If he wasn't so self-destructive, they'd still be fucking horses on weekends. Dumping him at the hospital was really dumping him into the media and mainstream, ending the thing they had going. And of course, with the landscape of Washington changed forever now, they had to scatter around the country. In fact, James Tate would find himself arrested once again for horse fucking, and pony fucking and dog fucking, this time in the state of Tennessee in 2009. For his crime, James would receive 10 years of probation, and his accomplice, the farm owner Kenny Thomason, would receive 2. Over the course of the next few years, several states would finally add bestiality laws. But believe it or not, there's actually 2 that still allow it. Wyoming only banned it in 2021 as a reaction to an incident that had happened the year prior, also with horses. Hawaii also banned it finally in 2021. That leaves us with 2 spots, New Mexico and West Virginia. I'm just gonna assume they haven't gotten around to it yet, and it's not that they're huge bestiality enthusiasts. And that just leaves us with the matter of the actual viral video. A lot of people take for granted that this is the actual video in which Mr. Hands gets killed. In fact, a lot of people describe it as being way more graphic and violent than it actually is. There's always been some debate over whether or not this is the video, and whether or not that's actually Mr. Hands in the video. Some have even claimed that they've seen this video before the incident. In fact, even the 2 Guys One Horse website, which Joe Rogan famously promoted, notes that it's assumed but not certain that this is the same man who died. So here's my opinion. I think this video does show the actual Mr. Hands, but I don't think this is that same incident that killed him, and I'll tell you why. So if this is the video where he gets killed, it's unlikely that the men who recorded it would have went right away and uploaded it to the internet. They had way too much to deal with at that time, so it would have necessarily been leaked from the police department. But there's something in it that tells me that this isn't what happened. The Windows Movie Maker title screen. Now, anybody could have found the leaked video and added a title screen at the beginning just to be a wacky silly guy. But there's something in the title screen that tells me that this video is most likely uploaded for the enjoyment of the zoophile community. The name Zeta Mo Beta. Zeta, if you don't know, is the 6th letter of the Greek alphabet, and it's also a dog whistle that zoophiles use to identify each other. You might have seen that squiggly line around on Twitter. This is a relatively commonly known thing now, but in 2006, I think it's highly unlikely that someone would have known to make that reference if they were just memeing on it. So to me, it's extremely likely that that video originates from inside the community. On top of that, the video identifies the man as Mr. Hands, and this does appear to be the actual nickname he had used with his friends. So to me, the evidence points to the fact that this is in fact Mr. Hands in that infamous video, but it's an earlier video and not the one where he dies. But anyway, that's all for the Mr. Hands story. If you like this video, check out my video about dolphinsex.org. I'm out.
I'm a centaur, half man, half horse. Please, do your part to help keep my people alive. F a horse.
Sexy. Sexy. Horses are sexy. You should a horse. Horses are sexy. You should a horse right now. Horses are sexy. You should a horse. Horses are sexy. You should a horse right now. Sexy.
Hi, I'm a centaur.
That should sum that up. That was some fucking wild shit, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to that. That's gonna be on YouTube later. I'm gonna have to clean it up though and blur out the horse cock I showed earlier, but that shit was wild. Holy shit. Coming from left field, La Diable shows me a horse fucker. Asshole the size of a crater. When he takes a poop, he's shooting out gold peak iced tea cans. Oh my god.
Oats, 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 oats.
We've only got one life. We've got to live it right. Throw up your hands, keep reaching for the spotlight. Baby, you're a king, you're a superstar. Baby, just show me where the oats are. Oats are. Oats, 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 oats.